Normally, you get the first taste of a team opponent early off, but it is good that we are going to play them back to back, and then for the third time at home.
For me, I'm obviously we're trying to still make a playoff push. So playing a team that's as seasoned as Minnesota with Sylvia Fowles is kind of tough when you're trying to kind of squeeze some hope and within your season. But Cheryl Reeves has always been a smart coach. I think our team is still obviously growing. So this will definitely be a challenge for us. It'll be able to kind of hopefully give us some momentum going into the next season, just to kind of see where we kind of rank against some of the better teams, especially some of the better post players. For me, it'll be interesting to see how one of the younger aspiring post players in the league, is going to handle Sylvia Fowles, in the regular season type of a matchup. So it'll be a challenge. I think that we just have to take every game, one at a time and try to get a win to try to just kind of end the season on a high note.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about Sylvia, and obviously it will be Tierra's probably primary responsibility, but both of you as front court mates of hers, I mean, what can you do to try to help her? And is any of that similar to the Griner situation in that, it's kind of a team effort to slow somebody like that?
Yeah, well, for me, I think it's just making her catches tough. I mean, obviously, Sil is, extreme veteran, 15 plus years in the league, whatever her numbers are. I mean, she just knows how to do it. It's like riding a bike for her. So her movements and how she moves off of players based on how they're defending her is second to best. I mean, probably the best in the league. So just making it tough for her every single time. And I think it's a different look than Griner because, Griner's a tiny bit more finesse. When you have Fowles, it's more of a physical type player. So making contact, she likes playing off of that. So you kind of just have to pick and choose, how you play her, what contact you give her, just to make it tough. I mean, she's a load in there. So just kind of constantly standing T's ear, just about just making every play a hard play for her, and that's where we'll slow everybody else around her down.
Jessica, is there anything that you would add in terms of just trying to slow her, but then also maybe, a little bit like Phoenix in that they're not just based around Sylvia Fowles. They obviously have Collier and McBride and, some good wing options there too.
Yeah, I mean, Jantel explained it well, right? So we would have to make sure her touches is hard, and that's everyone. That's us putting pressure on the person who has the ball, that's passing the ball in, disrupting their timing. When we watch film, they have really good timing and they swing the ball really fast and really well. So, yeah, I mean, everyone else around still are great players and they're playing really well together.
Is there anything, Jessica, that stands out to you about your guys' play on the road and how much it has improved as the season has progressed? Is there anything that stands out to you as to why that's happened?
Like Tel said, we are a young team. And we are learning each other. We're learning how to play with each other, chemistry, and just basically just vibing with each other. I think we've been doing that a lot better, especially defensively, trying to get teams to go to their second, third option, opposed to just, scoring easily on us.
And then final thought, Jantel, for me at least, you guys have had a ton of these back-to-backs where you play the same opponent 2 straight times. You're just off one in Phoenix, but you've done it a bunch this year. I mean, you would occasionally have those in previous seasons, but there's a lot more this year. What is that dynamic like as a player?
For me, I love it. I mean, I think it's awesome to be able to kind of go back to the drawing board and have a playoff type of game style, to be able to emulate how the playoffs are, because, you play the same team, you go back, make the adjustments you need to make and kind of see how you measure up. But when you have games in between, sometimes it can kind of make you forget about a team. Teams evolve during the season, but I don't know. I think it's kind of a raw matchup to see a team play somebody back to back and see what adjustments coaches make and players make.
I lied. I have one more quick one for you, Jantel. Obviously, you and Minnesota, when you were in LA, that was quite the battle seemingly every single year out west. Does a game like this or does an arena like this still bring out some of those emotions?
Absolutely. I mean, even just going over to Scout, I mean, it's a little strange being, out of LA because that rivalry was so huge. But like I played her for 8 straight years. And just to be able to give insight to T on how I try to defend her, I like to be in that position. I mean, being in here just gives me so many memories, especially when we won a championship with this arena filled with green shirts. It just made me like, I don't know, it's kind of like it's not home, but it's like this was where I won my first championship. So it's definitely a big deal. And I definitely take it personal when I come into this arena. It's a different feel, obviously being with Indiana, but I have to take everything with a grain of salt and just help my teammates the best way I can and, give my knowledge on how I had to play her to be successful in here.
Great. That's all I have. Thank you both very much.
I think that's everybody for today. Jantel, JB, appreciate it. And we'll talk to everybody post game.
Ryan, what do you want me to do with this?
Whenever we get out of this, will that file export to your desktop or to your documents folder?
That's my experience, although it's been a bit since I've done it.
If you see it, would you mind? I started recording halfway through that first question you asked, and I recorded it to the cloud. So whenever I do end this, I should get the file. But if you wouldn't mind, would you be able to send that to me?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, appreciate it. And yeah, I'll email Elias and ask about the 3 straight games too.
I think it is, but the
I would assume so.
I can't imagine what scenario would allow somebody